How long
phrase.
before we're a cashless society?
Hopefully forever, dude. It is so scary to imagine losing the privacy, losing it all completely because every transaction is in the public eye or observable. You won't be able to trade. You won't be able to do anything unless you have the mark.
We should read it, because I think you're onto something.
We're opening up the book of Revelation. If you remove the ability to trade currency in a private way, you are now controlled. You are now monitored.
It also causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark. That is the name of the beast or the number of its name. This calls for wisdom. Let the one who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Shalom. I would like to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakudash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim, pushing this word out across the four corners of the world. Just another news update through the spirit, the power, and the vibration of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I have an article from naturalnews.com, and the title says, Fast food chains under Yum Brands to go cashless soon. Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, KFC to reject cash. And this article was published on August the 28th, 2023. And it says, Yum Brands, the parent company of many well-known fast food chains like Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and KFC, is planning to eventually move to 100% digital sales at its restaurants. This is according to Yum Brands Chief Financial Officer Chris Turner, who noted during an earnings call the corporation's goal to gradually shift to full cashless transactions at its restaurants. And as you know, with the so-called powers that be, beginning from the nobility of Esau Edom on down to their lesser luminaries who follow their steps, within the scriptures they are likened unto a serpent. And let's get right quick, Genesis the 3rd chapter and the 1st verse. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh had made. And that serpent is referring to a man, and more so a treacherous man with devious, cunning, crafty ways. And this is that same sinister spirit within that vessel of dishonor, Esau Edom, in today's time. Also for serpent, it goes into someone that's very artful in deception. Look how these Edomites move within this world concerning passing legislations, policies, aka wicked decrees, painting false narratives, and being very crafty and devious on how they forward their agendas. For instance, they have a policy or a principle they go by called gradualism, which is a theory of some desire or goal by gradual steps rather than by drastic change. And their characteristics, how they forward these wicked agendas into this world, is likened unto a snake, because they are very patient how they attack their prey. This NWO or Great Reset of theirs has been in the works for many centuries. But look at that patient spirit upon them compared to many centuries ago until this day of time. So therefore they are patient like snakes. And where you have certain snakes have a camouflage coloring which allow them to blend into their surroundings and keep their potential prey from spotting them. Look how the so-called powers that be, beginning from the nobility of Esau Edom, hide their biblical identity. They paint this false narrative onto the world of them being everybody else but a biblical Edomite. But notice right here within this article, who noted during an earnings call the corporation's goal to gradually shift to full cashless transactions in its restaurants. And that principle or theory or policy goes by gradualism, again, which is achieving some desire or goal by gradual steps rather than by drastic change. And according to the late Aaron Russo, he stated the end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society, to have the bankers and the elite people control the world, which is all leading into the MOTB mentioned in Revelation the 13th chapter and the 16th verse. And this whole world witnessed, whether directly or indirectly, a prelude to this theory called gradualism during the so-called pandemic. Another example, look how they gradually condition the masses to use credit and debit cards. Fast forward to nowadays, you have the rise and future of contactless and cashless payment options. This is nothing but a social engineering experiment, aka psychological manipulation, to further groom this society to rejecting cash and to be more acceptable of the MOTB. Alright, and it says, Turner added in a separate interview that more customers will end up ordering through apps, websites, or automated kiosks in the stores. He also revealed that the company is already testing use of artificial intelligence to take drive-through orders. And the so-called powers that be, they refer to this new era, the fourth industrial era, which is another name for the NWO, as an era of scientific breakthroughs that would change the way of life as we currently know it. And that's by the merging of human and machine, which they classify as two frontiers of emerging technologies. Jump on down and it says, our ability to get to 100% cashless transactions will depend on new innovations, said Turner. The company claims that switching to 100% digital transactions will make it easier for customers to make impulse transactions with the click of a button. Going cashless and making customers order through screens is also an efficient way for the company to suggest that customers spend more by tacking on additional items to supplement their orders. Time and time again, when we shift sales into the digital channels, we see sales acceleration, said Turner. It really demonstrates how this is such a high return on investment for our franchisees and for us. Turner noted that the company is using a new customer data platform to survey customer behaviors, and he hopes that the data taken from this survey can be used to increase customer visits. Eventually, this and other internal programs will provide the infrastructure to unlock personalized marketing, joint branding, and future automation, said Turner. I'll jump down and it says, one of its most costly acquisitions, for example, came in 2021 when a company acquired Dragontail Systems, a provider of AI-powered tools for managing restaurant delivery systems, for $66 million. These incremental costs may end up being unsustainable for the company in the long term. It's probably expensive to upkeep that. It's not cheap, obviously, said Andrew Charles, Managing Director and Restaurant Analyst at investment bank TD Cowen. Yum currently has no immediate plans for any additional tech acquisitions. Andy Barish, Managing Director for investment bank Jefferies, noted that the company will likely continue building, acquiring, and integrating all of that to create their Yum commerce platform and to keep supporting the back-end systems of the company's most notable brands. We're not big fans of forcing people to go cashless when dining out, wrote Dennis Lee for the Takeout. It's one thing to tout the ease and convenience of paying with a card or via digital wallet, but to deny people service because the infrastructure only accepts digital currency means that these businesses wall off those who can only deal in cash. And even if you have a bank account, paying by card is not always preferable. Yum Brands currently has not provided a definitive timeline for when their fast food joints plan to go cashless, but the transition may already be ongoing. All Taco Bell stores already have digital ordering kiosks, for example. These kiosks have led to a 35% year-over-year increase in digital transactions for Taco Bell. Don't be surprised if someday in the not-too-distant future, your Nachos Bel Grande can only be ordered by tapping a cold, hard touch screen, Warren Lee. So as you can see, they're conditioning the masses, again, in a process called gradualism, to be more familiarized and acceptable to this new paradigm. And that's exactly why you have these major corporations or markets, such as Amazon, Whole Foods Market, introducing this new biometric payment option. And it's called Pay by Palm, meaning the palm of your hands. And whenever Esau promotes or markets something on a major higher level, he is always going to sell it to the masses as it's safe, it's effective, it's fast, and it's convenient. This serpent displayed these same type of actions during the so-called pandemic via the JAB, so how much more the knockout punch, which is the MOTB. And that takes me right to Revelation 13 verse 15. And he, referring to the nobility of Esau Edom, had power to give life unto the image of the beast. And this image of the beast is going into this Edomite power structure or system that's patterned after the pagan ancient Roman Empire. That the image of the beast should both speak, and is speaking now through his system, and how he's urging everybody to be more inclined to this new way of life. And I came across an article on Forbes. It was going into about this fourth industrial revolution or era is a new inflection point in bringing emerging technologies to life, which backs up this prophecy right here again. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast shall be killed. And that's because Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai have reserved a remnant out of the nation of Israel, going into that 7,000, referring to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that have not bowed unto Baal. And some of the hopeful elect are going to be martyrs for this true testimony. And you're also going to have some of these so-called Christians or so-called truthers that's not going to be acceptable to this new way of life as we currently know it. Because remember, that beast is referring to that fourth beast mentioned in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, which is going to that pagan ancient Roman Empire. And out of the pagan Roman Empire, what came out of it? A little horn, referring to America, aka Babylon the Great. Verse 16, and he, again referring to the nobility of Esau Edom, calls it all, and the Greek word for all is pas, which goes into every individual, every inhabitant of the planet Earth, which is why this fourth industrial revolution is also known as the NWO, which means New World Order, and also New Global Order, which is referring to universal, international, worldwide. So it says again, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, and as you can see, it does not mention anything about the middle class, which is why this next so-called wave is going to delete the so-called middle class, which ties in with biblical prophecies right here. Rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And as you should know by now, the word mark in the Greek goes into karama, which goes into an imprinted stamp, or a mark that has to be carved, scratched, or pierced, or etched into your body. And the only so-called technology that aligns with this biblical prophecy has to be the micro C hip, which is what the rise and future of contactless and cashless payment options are leading to. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that concludes the lesson through the Spirit. Fast food chains under Yum Brands to go cashless soon. Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, KFC to reject cash. And this is how the so-called powers that be are given life into the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak. This serpent, again referring to the nobility of Esau Edom, are coming up with tactical ways of getting the masses more familiarized and more acceptable to this new international monetary system shift. And that's exactly why more people are getting more acquainted and more accustomed to hearing words like transhumanism, artificial intelligence, biometric payments, contactless, cashless payments, digital currency, which is all leading into the removal of paper currency, a cashless society. And millions of people eat at these restaurants, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and KFC. And once this succeeds, and it will because it's a part of biblical prophecy, it's going to be like a domino effect upon these major corporations, restaurants, and businesses. So with that, hopefully you all was edified, you all stay strong, keep pushing forward. Shalom.